If you are planning a visit to Canada, or you are already here in Canada enjoying the goodness of Canada, but you're worried that your lovely stay in Canada may be coming to an end, then you're in for a treat today. I've got the inside scoop on how you can extend your stay in Canada as a visitor and continue to enjoy more time in this beautiful country. Make sure you stay to the end to discover the step-by-step process and insider tips that will help you extend your stay in Canada hassle-free. So usually a visitor to Canada can stay for a maximum of 6 months at a time. But in rare cases, the immigration officers at the airport may have stamped your passport with a date to leave Canada by, which may be less than 6 months. And that means that you must leave Canada by that date. Tough, I know. But please never stay in Canada beyond the time you are supposed to stay, because you will be in violation of your visa and of the immigration rules of Canada. And you don't want to do that. Trust me, you don't. But you might want to stay longer in Canada because obviously Canada is amazing, right? There's so much more to discover and experience, and you don't want to leave just yet. And you don't have to. Let me guide you through the steps to make your stay in Canada as a visitor even longer. Smile now, smile. By the way, if you're in Canada, tell me what has been your favorite Canadian experience so far. Leave it in the comments. Go on, leave it in the comments. I want to read, I want to know what you've been enjoying all the time you've been in Canada as a visitor. Now, here comes the exciting part. Extending your Canada visitor visa is like unlocking a new level in your Canadian adventure. Now, let's talk about the do's and don'ts of visa extensions and the potential pitfalls so you can glide through the process like a pro. But first things first, the thing is that you need to apply for a visitor record at least 30 days before your visitor status expires. A visitor record is not a visa. It is a document that allows you to stay as a visitor in Canada longer, but it will also have a new expiry date by which you must leave Canada. It doesn't guarantee that you can leave and re-enter Canada. Note that people whose work permit and study permit are expiring can also apply for a visitor record. Now let's get down to serious business and let's talk about the steps to extend your Canada visitor visa. Grab a pen and paper because you don't want to miss any step. So number 1 is plan ahead. Aim to apply at least 30 days before your current visa expires, because anything later than that might be too late. Your status expires 6 months after entering Canada or the date that is stamped on your passport by the immigration officers at the airport. Number 2, check your eligibility. Make sure that you're eligible for an extension. To be eligible, you must apply from within Canada, you must have a valid reason for staying longer, and you must comply with visa conditions. Number 3, gather the required documents. This includes a valid passport, proof of funds, a letter explaining why you want to extend your stay, and any other required and supporting documents. Number 4, submit an online application. You need to visit the official immigration website, which is canada.ca, and you need to complete the online application form. Double check your information and pay the necessary fees online. The fee is about $100 at this time, and the processing times vary. Towards the end of this video, I will demonstrate how to do the online application on the RCC website, so stay tuned. Guys, are you getting value so far? Just touch the like button to say thank you and subscribe as well. Now, let's continue. Number 5, you wait for processing. So once you've submitted your application online, it's time to play the waiting game. Processing times vary, so be patient. You can check the status of your application online as well. Number 6, decision time. When a decision is made, you will receive a notification. If your extension is approved, congratulations. If not, you need to pay attention to the reasons provided for the denial and consider your options. So, are you wondering what documents you need? I am going to tell you. The specific documents required for extending a visitor visa in Canada may vary based on individual circumstances and the purpose of the extension. However, here is a general list of documents that is often needed for a visitor visa extension. Number 1 is a valid passport. A passport that is valid for the duration of the intended extended stay is needed. Number 2 is a visa extension application form. you need to complete and sign a visa extension application form, which can usually be found on the official immigration website. This is the IMM 5708, which is an application to extend your stay. Number 3 is a letter of explanation, and this is a detailed letter explaining the reason for the visa extension, the plans you have for your extended stay in Canada, and any changes in your circumstances since you've been in Canada. Number 4 is the proof of financial support. So these are documents that demonstrate that you have sufficient funds to support yourself during the extended stay. This could include bank statements, pay stubs, employment letters, or a letter of financial support from a sponsor. Number 5 is your proof of ties to home. These are proof of ties to your home country, and these are documents proving strong ties to your home country. And these are things like what? Employment letters, property ownership documents, or evidence of family relationships to assure the visa officer and the authorities that you plan to return to your country. Number 6 is your travel itinerary. And this is an outline of your travel plans, including details of any additional destinations that you plan to visit during your extended stay. Number 7 is proof of accommodation. And these are documents that confirm your accommodation arrangements for the extended period. And that can be things like hotel reservation, a lease agreement, or a letter of invitation from your host. Number 8 is biometrics, and if that is required, you need to provide confirmation that you have completed biometrics, including the biometric instruction letter and proof of payment if applicable. Number 9 is medical insurance. You also need to provide proof of health insurance coverage for the entire duration of your extended stay in Canada. Number 10 is your return flight ticket. You need to provide a copy of your return flight ticket or evidence of plans to depart Canada before the extended visa expires. Number 11 is study enrollment verification, if applicable. So if you are a student or you are planning to study in Canada, you need to provide confirmation of enrollment in a Canadian institution and also details about the extended study plans or any study plans that you have. Please, it is crucial to check the official immigration website or to contact the relevant immigration authorities for the most up-to-date and specific requirements based on your own situation. Additionally, seeking guidance from immigration professionals can help ensure that you have all the necessary documents, and this would also increase the chances of a successful visa extension application. So now, you must be wondering, is it easy to actually get this extension? What are my chances? Are there any challenges that I could face? The truth is, extending a visitor visa in Canada can pose various challenges. And so it's important for you to be aware of what these potential challenges are. And I'm going to give you some of them. So here are some common challenges that you might encounter. Number 1 is the stringent eligibility criteria. Now, the eligibility criteria for visa extensions are strict. Meeting the requirements such as demonstrating the need for the extended stay, why do you want to stay longer, and having sufficient funds can be challenging. Number 2 are processing delays. The processing time for visa extensions can vary, and there might actually be delays. And this can be problematic, especially for individuals who need a quick resolution to their visa status. Number 3 is financial documentation. Providing evidence of financial capacity to support your extended stay is crucial. Gathering and presenting the necessary financial documents can be a challenge, particularly if there are uncertainties in your financial situation. Number 4 is understanding the immigration system. Navigating the Canadian immigration system and understanding the specific requirements for visa extensions can be complex. Misrepresentation of rules or failure to submit the correct documents may result in a rejected application. Number 5 is the limited reasons for extension. So Canada expects individuals who want to extend their visas to have valid reasons. This may vary depending on your particular situation. Convincingly articulating the purpose and the necessity of your extended stay is very, very crucial. Number 6 is document verification issues. Visa officers may scrutinize the submitted documents thoroughly. Any discrepancies, inconsistencies, or missing information in the application can result in delays or even rejection. 7, limited appeal options. If a visa extension application is denied, there might be limited options for you to appeal. Understanding the reasons for the denial and addressing them in any subsequent application is very, very crucial. Navigating these challenges, a visa extension requires careful planning, attention to details, and a clear understanding of the Canadian immigration system. And seeking advice from immigration professionals or legal experts can also be beneficial in overcoming these challenges. If you are thinking of getting a work permit while in Canada as a visitor, you might want to watch this video here, where I talked about how to go from visitor to work permit. Now, let me quickly show you how to complete an online application form to extend your visitor stay in Canada. So quickly, what you need to do is to type canada.ca on your browser, and then you click on English if you're going to be served in English, and then you scroll down and you look for Visit Canada. And then when you get to Visit Canada, you scroll down and you look for Stay in Canada Longer. Now, this is where you get all the information about how you can stay in Canada longer. The fees is $100. Processing time is currently 72 days. So for those who might want to know, the processing time is currently 72 days. Now, in order to apply, you need to open an account or GCK account. Now, if you have actually applied before, you have a GCK account, but if maybe an agent applied for you and you don't have one, you can actually create a GCK account yourself. So you can create an account or sign in. In this case, if you had an account, you would sign in with the account that you have. And if you didn't have an account, you would have to create one, the GCK username and password. And then we're going to sign into an existing account because we're going to assume that you already have an account. Okay, at this point you would have logged into your GCK account, or you would have created one. If you don't know how to create a GCK account, please check the video that I did on how to apply for a visit visa, and I'm going to leave the link at the end of this video. So if you haven't seen it, you can go there. If you've created your account, you just log in and then you click I accept. And then of course you are asked for your security answer, which you would have answered, and then when you answer that, you're able to go in. And here you would have to go to apply to come to Canada. Now, you don't have a personal reference code, so you're going to say I don't have a personal reference code, and this is where you're going to determine your eligibility. So you're going to click on that first one for those who want to visit Canada, and this is where you start to answer the question, what would you like to do in Canada? You're going to say you want to visit. How long are you planning to stay in Canada temporarily? Less than 6 months. And then of course, what code fits your passport and all of that. Let's just choose Japan. Your current country of residence. Of course, currently you're in Canada, so that's what you would choose because you're making this application from Canada. Do you have a family member who is a permanent resident? You're just going to say no. And then as per your date of birth, let's just choose 1990 January 1st, excuse me. And then, have you lived in Canada as a permanent resident? No, because I'm just answering based on arbitrary answers. You need to put in what is suitable for you based on your own circumstances. What is your current immigration in Canada? You are a visitor. Yeah, because you already said you're a resident in Canada, so they're going to ask you, what is your marital status? You can be married, you can be single, it doesn't matter. And then the province where you're going to spend the most of your time in this your visit, and it says you may be eligible to extend your stay in Canada as a visitor or a tourist. Yeah, this is the first one that concerns us. It says we're almost there, so there are more questions to ask us. Are you accompanying a family member who has status in Canada? So accompanying a family member means you'll be staying with a family member who is already in Canada as a visitor, a worker, or a student. Yeah, so your accompanying family member is a spouse, common law partner. I just wanted to show you that so that you can see what it's asking. So we know in this case, if it's yes for you, go ahead. When does your status in Canada end? So let's assuming that your status is going to end in the next 33 days, because we're supposed to apply at least 30 days before it's expiring. So let's say to expire in February. I don't know, February 1st, for example. Have you had a medical exam performed? Just going to say no, because usually you would not. Are you going to work in any of these following jobs? Health sciences, clinical lab, and on all of this. Now, usually these are jobs you should not be working at. So the answer would be no. Do you want to submit application for a family member? No. I'm actually here on a visit alone. Are you giving someone access to your application? I'm just going to say no, because we're not using a rep, we're doing it ourselves. Yes, we will be paying our fees, and yes, of course, we can make digital copies because we're doing an online application. Yes, we'll be paying our fees. We're not exempt from paying fees. And then it asks you to review your answers, which you're going to do. If you made any mistake, you correct that, and you would click continue. Now it gives you the 4 steps, yeah, that you need for you to be able to submit your application. So use your account, save your application, upload your documents, and of course pay the fees. And then when you click continue, it brings you to your document checklist. The document checklist is application to change condition, extend my stay in Canada. That is one of the forms you will fill. Then you submit your passport, which is an international passport, proof of means of financial support, which we've already discussed, your digital photo, which is a passport photo of yourself, and then of course application of a temporary resident visa made inside Canada, client information, which is probably your statement of purpose, explanation of why you want to extend your stay in Canada, and the fee is just $100. And when you have filled out all of that, you can submit, and then the waiting game starts. Now you need to download these forms. The first form, which is application to extend your stay in Canada, you open, it's the IMM 5708. You need to download it and open it probably on a laptop that has Adobe Acrobat. Yeah, you need Adobe to open that. The second form that you're going to probably need to use is the application to submit a temporary resident visa inside Canada. Yeah, this will also open on a new tab. Sorry. So these are the documents that you are going to need to apply to extend your visa inside Canada. Now it's very simple. By the time you start up, it's going to ask you information about yourself. So the second form is IMM 5257. If any of your circumstances have changed since the time you apply for visit visa, you need to be mentioning it in your statement of purpose, which you're going to be uploading in the client information path of the application, where they're asking you for client information. It's really simple to do, but make sure, like I said before, you have very clear reason for why you would want to extend your stay in Canada. It says you are responsible for ensuring that the documents you submit are correct. Carefully review the document. A decision concerning your application will be made based on the information you submit, and you will not be able to make changes to your application once it has been submitted. So be sure that everything that you're submitted is correct and you've gone through it, and there's no conflicting information from what you previously submitted. That is just it. So this is just a snapshot of how to go through the process of applying to extend your stay in Canada using the online form. So the website again is canada.ca, and I'm going to leave the link in the description below. So there you have it, fellow adventurers in Canada. This is your guide to extending your Canada visitor visa. If you want to explore the study route while you are in Canada, I would also urge you to watch this very detailed video here. It will help you a lot. So if you found this video helpful, go on and give it a thumbs up. Share it with your buddies, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more Canada Insider tips. Until next time, keep exploring, keep smiling, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one. Good luck in your application. Bye for now.